Welcome, friends and members, to our 72-year-old Young Rata platform. And today we are bringing you a wonderful topic for all of you on the opportunity for the traders and contractors in refrigeration and air conditioning industry. But just before that, I would definitely like to thank you for choosing this platform, which is one of the most premium platform in the HVAC industry. And uh, as I said, it's just 72-year-old and many more years to go ahead. So, taking few minutes of your all your permissions, I would just detail that how is that Rata works and what Rata is all about. Rata having its headquarters in Mumbai with our national president, Mr. Ajit Panikar, and followed here we have the chapters across the country. But most important thing is that today we are here from the Bangalore chapter, giving you the small glimpse of what this industry is all about, which is increasing every day, every hour. Maybe we anticipate 15%, but as for me it is much more than that. So here, why do we choose the platform of Rata? We are here together in this HVAC trade, where all the people, irrespective whether he's a dealer, whether he's a distributor, whether he's a manufacturer, and maybe he's a service provider, or he's a consultant, or he's a contractor, but everybody together we are here as a single industry, that is HVAC. So we welcome you all to join this and make our association more and more strong, and together be a single voice to the government, a single voice to the tax authority. We are here together. We should be a single voice to the weight and measurements people, the changes what we want to bring. We together here be a single voice to support the farmers in order to bring the changes in the industry, in the refrigeration industry. We are here together once again to bring and support for the GST. We give a lot of inputs to the GST. We had the meeting with the GST to bringing down in certain codes from 28% to 18% of the GST. A single person is definitely not that heard powerfully, and as an association, as together we here, we can definitely bring much more colors and much more powers and support the industry. We support you all the traders, we support the entire trade industry, and we look to make and move more and more strong with your support, with your suggestions, with the Rata whatever can provide you. Of course, we have many much more details where Rata, you can visit our website, Rata, 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 where you will get much more glimpse what and all we are doing. So we generally give you all the knowledge regarding the industry in the commercial aspect of the HVAC. We bring you the knowledge about the taxes. We bring you about the knowledge on the service taxes. We bring you the knowledge how to form a company. We bring in the knowledge that how should we strengthen this industry more and more. We have met the senior most government authorities like Mr. Gadkari. We have met the GST authorities. Now recently we have been part of FKCCI as well. So doing all this, I believe that you should be understanding that how important work we do on behalf of the entire trade industry. So if we see together, we can definitely bring more and more power, and we can be one of the most strongest organization, a strongest uh, person being together. Here in the Bangalore chapter, I welcome Mr. C. Subramaniam, who is the president here in the Bangalore, Mr. Mulender Bengani, who is the vice president, I mean president elect of the Bangalore chapter, myself, secretary of Bangalore chapter, Rata Bangalore chapter. I am also being a part of this society from many years now. So I feel privileged to introduce Mr. Krishna Prasad, today, who would definitely take you on the opportunities for traders and contractors in refrigeration and air conditioning industry. So it's really fantastic that Mr. Krishna Prasad has taken out from his busy schedule to in a way to give you the detail about the opportunities in this line, in this segment. Mr. Krishna Prasad is first of all a great friend of mine from many years, and he is a graduate. He is a qualified engineer, and he has done an MBA. He is a graduate running refrigeration and air conditioning trade by a very famous company called Fridge House. So he's in Bangalore since from inception, and he started his company in 1986. So we bring you the most qualified people to give you the detail about this industry. So he is a distributor of Emerson Climate Technology Private Limited, winning many sales performance in his segment. He is a part of Emerson industry with a Navratan dealer of Emerson, which is called as to be one of the best dealer of Emerson. He is also second runner-up in terms of commercial value as well. I give many congratulations for that to Mr. Krishna Prasad. He's also a board member of Emerson India Dealer Advisor. So it's not easy to be a board advisor in such a big multinational company. So once again, congratulations to Mr. M.K. Prasad. So this is what we thought that let him share the best of the knowledge, as he is doing fantastically well in the HVAC industry. So we don't want to make him alone to make all the money. We want Krishna Prasad sir also to share something with us. So we want all our RATA members to take that opportunity and make the same money whatever he is doing. It's not just about money. We also want to be there together with you. So let's catch up what and all the magic he does and how he brings so many colors to his company and how he can spare some time for RATA also. So over to you, Mr. Krishna Prasad, and welcome to the board. Thank you for giving your valuable time.
Thank you, Mr. Ajay. I think you have made me very colorful. I don't know whether you saw my shirt and felt colorful, or you really felt I am a colorful person.
We are one of the smartest person here, Mr. Krishna Prasad, in you.
Okay, anyway, thank you for that such wonderful introduction. I think you have made me know some things which I myself was not aware about myself. Thank you for that. Thank you, wonderful. Thank you, Mr. Ajay.
Thank you. You deserve much more, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. So now actually I am going to take you to a wonderful field, a wonderful world of refrigeration and air conditioning. So before taking you to this different world of refrigeration air conditioning, I will like to tell you a few things about how this line has evolved. In the year 1986-85, I joined Kirloskar Brothers Limited. It was a pioneer in manufacturing compressors. I joined with a salary of 1,000 rupees per month, and the cost of an air conditioner at that time was 30,000 rupees. So for a person to purchase an air conditioner, he had to save 2.5 years of his salary for an engineer like me to purchase one air conditioner. Similarly, the cost of a refrigerator was about 15,000. A person had to wait or save 1.5 years of his salary for purchasing a refrigerator. So we could see air conditioners and refrigerators only in the houses of company owners or large politicians and very rich people. The line was minuscule. It was a very, very small line. Refrigeration, air conditioning was maybe a few lakhs across the country. Such was the size of the field at that time. And over a period of time, so if I see from 86, then came 90, there was liberalization, then we came to 95, the things started changing. Slowly the government started reducing the taxes, and products like air conditioner and refrigeration, they started becoming cheaper. Likewise, the salary of people started increasing. So today, if you take the salary of an engineer, an ordinary sales engineer, could be getting about 25 to 30,000 when he joins a company. And the cost of an air conditioner is also 25,000 rupees. So with a salary of 1 month, a person can purchase an air conditioner. And today an air conditioner has become affordable to everybody. So this is how the line has grown actually. Today, this refrigeration air conditioning line encompasses a very large umbrella of industries. We have the cold room sectors, we have the environmental chambers, we have the heat pumps, we have refrigeration, we have air conditioning, we have chillers, industrial dryers. So likewise, there are so many varied different verticals under the umbrella of refrigeration and air conditioning. Today, during this speech, I have selected 6 important verticals, which by itself is a separate line. There are people who are doing activities only in each vertical under the umbrella of refrigeration and air conditioning. Now, refrigeration air conditioning is one of the fastest growing industry. The annual growth is 15% annually. It's 15%. And the annual turnover of this industry is 70,000 crores, and it employs 2 million people. And even in the next from 2020 to 2030, we are expecting a minimum growth of 15% in this line. The new addition of these cold rooms, especially for the food industry, by itself has become a huge industry, and it is giving job to millions and millions of people. Now, just let me take one example of air conditioning. Today, if you see the split air conditioners, which are generally in the offices and the houses, the sale of split air conditioners is 60 lakh air conditioners per year. And by the year 2026, these numbers are going to reach 1 crore split air conditioners every year. So this is the size of this line in the future. But when I give such a rosy picture about the refrigeration air conditioning trade, again, as in every industry, where you require one businessman, you will always see there are 10 business people, and hence it is the survival of the fittest. But what I can guarantee is this line will ensure that you grow very fast. This line will ensure that there are more possibilities of success. Hence, I am now going to speak about the umbrella under refrigeration and air condition. As I told you, there are 6 different verticals. I will be speaking about each vertical, and in each vertical, what are the opportunities available for people, for members and people like us. Now let us go to the next slide. Okay. Now the first line, the first vertical I am taking is air conditioning. Today you see any large building. It could be a shopping mall, it could be a company like TCS or Infosys, or even a salon or a vegetable shop, or anywhere you go, most of these places are air conditioned. These large buildings, they are air conditioned. And these large buildings are called as central air conditioning. In central air conditioning, the air conditioning equipment is kept at the bottom of the building, and the entire building is connected with the help of a network of copper pipe, and the building is cooled. And this is called as central air conditioning. Then when we come to the slightly smaller individual showrooms or slightly larger hotels, we have the cassette air conditioners and we have the tower air conditioners. And next, we come to the individual houses, our bedrooms. Can you go one slide back? Can you go to the air conditioner slide? Air conditioners. The earlier slide. Yeah. So this is the air conditioner. Yeah, as I told you, so there are a variety of air conditioners available today, and a central air conditioning contractor may not be doing the work of split air conditioning work. Hence, this air conditioning line itself again has different components. Now, what are the opportunities available for people like us? For example, any youngster or any person has ample opportunities for becoming an entrepreneur in air conditioning. Now, let me explain how we can become an entrepreneur. Now, as I told you, central air conditioning, here there are very large manufacturers of air conditioners. To name a few, we have Voltas, we have Carrier, we have Blue Star, Havels, and many, there are about 30 brands of air conditioning. Now, as an entrepreneur, we can take the dealership of any one of these company and align along with them and try to solicit for orders of air conditioners. And that's how we can build a business of air conditioning. The second is we can also sell split air conditioners, cassette air conditioners, and tower air conditioners. Again, by taking dealerships of various companies. There are 30 different brands of air conditioners which are available in the market. We have LG, we have Samsung, we have Daikin, we have Mitsubishi, Havels, Lloyds. So likewise, there are so many different brands. All these brands are looking for people who can take their dealerships and who can do businesses in the line of refrigeration, air conditioning. Now, as I told you, Bangalore has plenty of air conditioning, and once an air conditioning is installed, it requires maintenance. Now, this gives rise to the second line, that is taking the annual maintenance contract and repairs of air conditioning. So again, there are companies which run annual maintenance contract companies or repair companies. That is again the second line of activity what is available. Now, the third line of activity available is, as I told you about this Blue Star, Voltas, all these companies sell air conditioner under their brand, but they don't manufacture any of the items. They purchase compressors, they purchase refrigerants, they purchase copper pipes, pressure switches, everything from traders in the market. So this gives rise to another line of activities, that is selling of spare parts. So there are three different activities. One is becoming an installer of air conditioner. Second is becoming a service provider for air conditioners. And third is being the spare parts supplier of spare parts suppliers for these air conditioner manufacturers. Now, when I told you about this, any entrepreneur, I think he need to have some qualities. You cannot directly go and start a business. I think what you first you should know is you should know the in and out of the product what you are handling. And to know the product what you are handling, I suppose a person should take a minimum of 3 to 4 years experience in some reputed air conditioning company, understand the process of how you get orders from the market, how you procure the materials from the market, how you give quotations for the requirement. You learn all these things while you work in some reputed air conditioning company. You get a gauge of the market. You understand how you get orders. Once you're thorough with all these things, then you can start the business of air conditioning. You can start the business of air conditioning, you can start the business of selling spare parts, or you can start the business of providing service and AMCs. So these are the different opportunities available for people to become entrepreneurs. Now, our country is today a $3 trillion economy. Our Prime Minister has told by the year 2025, our country has to reach an economy of $5 trillion. That means in the next 4 years, our business is going to double, almost double within 4 years. So this gives you an indication the amount of business opportunities that is available in our market. And as I told you, our line of refrigeration air conditioning is the fastest growing industry. Hence, it will give ample of opportunities for the youth, youngsters, and everybody who wants to start a business. As I told you, there is no age bar for starting business. A person can start a business when he's 25 years, or he can start a business when he's 70 years. Anybody can start a business, and I think if he has the capability, if he has an entrepreneur skill, then I think he can run a successful business. Now let me take you to the next vertical, the second vertical. Can we change the slide? Yeah, this is the commercial refrigeration segment. Now I think most of you would have gone to restaurants, that is hotels. You would have gone to super bazaars. You would have gone to convenience stores. You would have gone to bakeries. When you go to a hotel, you will find in every hotel there are 3 or 4 freezers. So why are these freezers required? The freezers are required to store vegetables, to store fruits, butter, cake, and many of these food items. And then again in the hotel, whatever food is left over, at the evening, some of the food items may not be consumed. Some of them may be in the raw material form. They may not be consumed. They need to be stored for the next day. So for storing these food items, you require these freezers. And then similarly, when you go to a convenience store, you would like to have a cold drink, Pepsi Cola, Coca-Cola, or a soft drink. You require visi-coolers, which keep the cold drinks at a low temperature. Likewise, when you go to the bar, the drinks, the hot drinks, the beer, they all have to be stored at a lower temperature. You require water coolers, and then you require display cabinets. The display cabinets are used mainly in the bakeries for storing the cakes and the pastry items. And one more very big use of the commercial refrigeration is the supermarkets. Today, when you go to the supermarket, you will see chicken, mutton, vegetables, fruits, food items, everything in a beautiful display. A person can get a feel and an idea about these items which are displayed. So this particular activities has given rise to a very big business activity which is called as commercial refrigeration. In commercial refrigeration, again, there are hundreds of manufacturers in Bangalore, or there are thousands of manufacturers across our country at different places who manufacture deep freezers, who manufacture display cabinets, visi coolers, water coolers. The second line of manufacturer is large companies. We have Blue Star, we have Voltas, Lloyds, Western Refrigeration, and many more companies which are also manufacturers. So either you could start manufacturing these commercial refrigeration on your own, or you can be a dealer for some of these large companies and approach the hotels, bakeries, or the super bazaars for orders and start doing your business. So you either become a manufacturer or you become a dealer for any one of the large company. And the third activity is, again, all these manufacturers don't have their own items. They procure the items from the market. They purchase compressors. It could be Emerson, it could be Danfoss, Embraco, or any compressor. They want the evaporators, they want the controls, temperature controls, flow controls, and 101 items or 1001 items for assembling and manufacturing of these kind of commercial refrigeration. So this vertical has again given rise to 3 different businesses: manufacturing, being a dealer, providing service, and being a trader for spare parts. This is the second level of activity, or the second line vertical of activity. Now let us go to the third vertical. Can I change the slide? Yeah, this is called as the cold rooms. These cold rooms, if I have to explain, I think it may take one full day, but I will explain this in short. I am going to explain it why in very short. And the reason why I am explaining is, what I feel is, anybody who does business, whether it is selling spare parts, whether it is manufacturing equipments, or doing the service, he need to know the technicalities of the product. He needs to know what is the function of each component in a product and how it functions. Only then he can be a successful entrepreneur. Now let me come to the cold room. Now when I tell about the cold rooms, now if you see over a period of last 30-40 years, earlier we were all living in the villages. Now we all have come to the cities. Now cities are large populated conglomerates. They may have populations of crores, 1 crore, 2 crore, and they become huge consumption centers. The vegetables, the milk, and the food grains, they're all grown in the villages. Now we need to connect them. The vegetables are grown in the villages, which should be 100 kilometers, 500 kilometers far away. The consumption centers are the cities, that is Bangalore, Bombay, and the cities. So we need to collect the vegetables in the villages and transfer them to the city, and then distribute to the people in the cities. So this has given rise to this cold room business. Cold rooms collect the vegetables and the fruits from the farmers in the villages, and they store these items in the cold storages, and then they transfer it with the help of transport vehicles to the cities. And once they come to the cities, they are again distributed in the convenience stores or in large super bazaars, and then the consumers, they come and purchase these items from the convenience stores or from the supermarkets. So this total process requires a lot of cold rooms, lot of refrigeration, and lot of air conditioning activity. Friends, now you would also see that you hear about Washington apple. These Washington apples are coming from California in America. You might have heard oranges from New Zealand, which are coming from New Zealand or Australia. You might be getting mangoes from South Africa. Now, how do they come to Bangalore? They come in cold storages. They come in cold storages and cold containers. They are transferred from all those areas to Bangalore, and in Bangalore, they are processed, cleaned, and sold in the super bazaars. But it is possible to get Washington apple because of these cold rooms and the cold storages what are available in the market. And now one more thing I would like to bring to your information is the storages. Now you would have seen this potato, apple, and the various vegetables and fruits. When they grow, they get spoiled in 10 or 15 days. For example, potato. You can store potato for 15 days. But now with the help of cold storages, you can store the potato for 6 months, and the farmer who has grown the potato can store that potato for 6 months, and he can remove it from the cold storage when the rates are good and sell it in the market. And this is how the cold storages and cold rooms are helping the farmers across our country. So cold storages and cold rooms have become the backbone of the farmers, has become the backbone of this country, and it has also become a huge business potential for entrepreneurs. People can put cold storages, people can manufacture cold storages, people can do annual maintenance contract of cold storages or supply spare parts required for cold storages. I have shown 3 photos here. One is a typical small cold room, and one is a lorry which transports milk, vegetables, and fruits from villages to city. And the middle one is a tanker which has milk in this, and that milk is transported from villages to cities like Bangalore or Bombay. So, and these, and there is another one new line which is coming in the market, which is called as ripening units. Now, this mangoes, bananas, or any of the fruits what you get in the super bazaars, they are all artificially ripened. See, what happens is when you pluck a ripened banana, it has to be consumed within next 2 days, and if it is not consumed, it gets wasted. So instead of that, a grown-up banana is plucked from the plant. It is transported in lorries to the cities, and in the cities it is stored. And this banana is ripened as and when the trader requires it for trading. Today, if he wants 100 kgs of banana to be sold, he will take out 100 kgs of banana from the store, put it in the ripening chamber for 16 hours. When you put 16 hours of banana in the ripening chamber or the ripening unit, the banana gets ripened and then it can be sold. So this has given rise to ripening units or ripening chambers. This is another line of activity which is again becoming big. So this cold room activity, cold room or cold storages, is becoming very large, You see exhibitions happening throughout the country, throughout the year, and there are multiple companies which are in this line of manufacturing and manufacturing the spare parts and so many activities in this cold storage. So it provides a lot of opportunity for the entrepreneurs to become manufacturers, start small industries, or provide services, or start trading in the spare parts like electricals, compressors, and temperature gauges, copper pipes, and flow controls. So these are the opportunities available in the cold room. Okay. So now let us go to the next vertical. Yeah. So I'll be going through these verticals in a very fast way because we have a limited time. Because each vertical itself is a huge business. Now this next vertical, what I'm going to speak is industrial chillers and dryers. Again, this is a byproduct of refrigeration, air conditioning. Friends, you would have seen there are lakhs and lakhs of industries across our country. There are car manufacturing companies in Hosur, Chennai, in Delhi. There are plastic industries. There are pharma manufacturing industries, manufacturing drugs and chemicals. There are distilleries. You name, there are thousands and thousands of varieties of industries which are manufacturing various items. Now, all these companies, they have machines for doing various activities. These companies will have, they will have lathe machines, grinding machines, milling machines, computerized machines, and hundreds and varieties of machines. So what happens is when these machines are working, the machines get heated up. When the machine gets heated up, it has to be cooled. If the machine is not cooled, the machine may get seized and the machine may fail. So a continuous cooling of the machine is required, and this cooling has given to the industry, which is called as industrial chillers. So this cooling of machine is done with the help of coolant or water. Now just for an example, we all have car. Now in the car there is an engine. When we run the car, the engine becomes hot. The hot engine will get seized if it is not cooled. So we need to cool the engine. For cooling the engine, we have the radiator in front of the engine, and inside the radiator there is coolant. And then there is a fan which cools the coolant. So the coolant will cool the engine and ensures that the car keeps running without getting seized. So likewise in an industry, for cooling a machine, we require industrial chillers. The industrial chillers will cool the machines on a continuous basis and ensure that the machines are running trouble-free. So likewise, we also have dryers which are actually drying the air, which are again required for chemical processes in the industry. So this vertical is called as industrial chillers and dryers, and again it is a huge industry. There are many small industries across the country which are manufacturing chillers and dryers. There are many small industries which are taking annual maintenance contracts of these industries. They are taking service contracts of these industries, and that is given to the second line of activity. And the third line of activity is selling the spare parts for these kind of machines. Again, these chillers, they require compressors, Emerson compressors, Danfoss compressors. There are so many different compressors available. Then there are flow controls, Emerson flow controls. There are Danfoss flow controls. So many other varieties. Then you have pressure switches, hot gas bypass valves, and there are thousands and thousands of variety of items which are specific to chillers. And a trader can have ample opportunities in selling these kind of products to the market. So this has given to another line of activity where a person can become an entrepreneur and start selling the spares. So as again I told you, you can be a manufacturer, start a small industry, manufacture chillers, or be a service provider, or the third activity is you can be a trader. You can start selling the spare parts. So these are the activities available in the industrial chillers. Now let me take you to the next vertical. This is a very nice segment. It is called as environmental chambers. Now, what does this environmental chamber does? This, as you can see the photo of the chamber. Inside this chamber, we create temperatures of say plus 50 degrees temperature, which is a very hot temperature, and then minus 50 degrees temperature, which is very cold. So inside this chamber, you see varied temperatures. So, but let me now explain you why this is required. We all have a lot of electronic gadgets today. We have mobiles, we have laptops, we have so many electronic equipments, we have radars, we have defense equipments, we have medical equipments, we have thousands and thousands of equipments which are very, very precise. And these equipments are subjected to extreme temperature. Now, just let me give an example of mobile. A mobile, what I'm having, let me just, the mobile, what I'm having here, this mobile has to work in Kargil. The temperatures can go up to minus 30 degrees temperature. This same mobile has to work in Saudi Arabia, where temperatures can go to plus 52 degrees. So what a mobile manufacturing company like Samsung or Apple does is, when they manufacture a batch of 10,000 or 15,000 mobiles, they test some of their mobiles in these kind of environmental chambers. They keep the mobile in the chambers, bring it to a temperature of plus 52 and see that whether this mobile is working. Then they take the temperatures to minus 30, check whether the mobile is working there. If the mobile works in both the temperature, then that mobile can be released for commercial release in the market. So this is how electronic gadgets are tested. Maybe our laptops, our televisions, our medical equipments, our radar, defense equipments, so many things. All these kind of equipments need to be tested, and to test them, you require environmental chambers which create temperatures of extreme temperature minus 50 to plus 50. There are some environmental chambers which can take you to minus 80 degree temperatures also, which are required for scientific developments and lab testings. So here again, there are companies or small industries which are manufacturing environmental chambers. There are engineers who provide annual maintenance contract for such kind of environmental chambers, and then there are traders who supply these kind of niche products, again compressors and so many electronic gadgets which are required for these kind of chambers, and that is the third line of activity. So this environmental chambers, manufacturing in industries, service providers and seller of spare parts, all three different activities come under this environmental chamber, and it is a big growing industry. So when I'm telling about these opportunities, even today, still 60% of the environmental chambers are imported from Germany, Italy, and many European countries. We are still not able to develop the quality, what is required by our industry, so which gives ample opportunity for us to manufacture better environmental chambers. There are very good manufacturers in our country, but there is still ample opportunity to stop the imports and manufacture those environmental chambers which are required by our industry. So this is one vertical. Now let me go to the next vertical. Let's go to the next slide. Yeah, now I am coming to the heat pumps. Heat pumps are a fairly new product. The basic work of heat pump is heating water. Now I think all of us in our house, in our bathroom, we have electric geysers. When we go to take bath, we require hot water. We have the electric geysers. But these electric geysers are guzzlers of electricity. In my house, if my monthly bill of electricity is 2000 rupees, my geyser will consume about 800 to 900 rupees of electricity. So now to overcome this problem, the heat pumps, these heat pumps are working on the principle of air conditioning. The air conditioned heat pumps are used to heat waters and they consume only 25% of the power what a normal geyser would have consumed. Now, recently I went to one of the five-star hotels in Bangalore. So I was discussing with the maintenance engineer there, and he was just explaining me about the heat pump. He told me earlier he used to get an electricity bill of 8 lakh rupees per month for the geysers which he had in the 500 rooms of that five-star hotel. Later on, about 3 years back, they shifted from the electric geysers to heat pumps. And after installing the heat pumps, the electricity bill in the same hotel reduced from 8 lakhs to 2.7 lakhs. That means the electricity bill reduced by 70%. So now this saving is understood by all the major consumers, especially hostels, hospitals, industries, and hotels. So they're all compulsorily going for heat pumps nowadays. And even the premium manufacturers of the premier builders, if you take Bangalore, the Embassy builders, Shobha builders, they all have started installing heat pumps in the terrace of the building, and they have given connections, pipe connections to every bathroom with a connection of hot water from the heat pump. So these are becoming very popular. And if you go to Europe or America, you will find every house has a heat pump, every hotel has a heat pump, and it is very, very predominant. In India, we are in the very infant stages. There are few manufacturers in Bombay, Pune, Bangalore, across the country, but still 70% of the requirement is coming from China. But this industry is going to be very big in the next 5 years, and this industry of heat pumps will provide opportunities for thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs to start manufacturing of heat pumps. Heat pumps is again a nice sector. You need some sort of an expertise in manufacturing heat pumps, but you can learn this. Today heat pumps are available in the market. You can have an idea by observing some of them, and you can start manufacturing heat pumps or provide service for heat pumps or start selling spare parts what are required for heat pumps. Even today, most of the spare parts required for heat pumps are still imported. They're imported from China, they're imported from Thailand, they're imported from Europe, and many more countries actually. So, but it still provides a large opportunity for people to become entrepreneurs. So this is one line of activity. Now let me go to the next slide. Can we shift to the next slide? Yeah. Now I think this, I just explained you about 6 different verticals which are very prominent. But apart from those verticals, there are a lot of other refrigeration, air conditioning activities also. I have not spoken about them because they are still in the infancy and they're in a developing stage. Now, apart from these 6 verticals, now as I told you, the first slide I told you about air conditioning. Air conditioners are used, the central air conditioning are used for large buildings which may be 50 floors, 70 floors, 80 floors, and it requires thousands and thousands of components, maybe not 10,000 components to install one air conditioning. There are copper pipes, there are pressure switches, temperature gauges, so many items. They're all inside the refrigeration system. Now, apart from the refrigeration system, there are a lot of other items which are outside the refrigeration system. To cool an air conditioning system, you require cooling towers, you require water pumps, we require strainers, we require actuators, walls, and again hundreds of varieties of items. So these are called as streamlined products, which come outside the air conditioner. They are actually not connected to the cooling equipments, but they are the supporting activity for the air conditioning activity. So that also gives another opportunity for doing business by selling pumps, actuators, walls and motors and so many things. So this is another line of activity. So this is the seventh activity, and this is my last slide. And this is my last slide. And before I conclude, I would once again like to tell our members who are hearing, refrigeration is a huge activity. It is going to be a very big activity in the future. When I go to Europe and America, I see refrigeration air conditioning as one of the biggest activities. The same thing is going to happen in our country also. 5 years down the line, you will see ample of opportunities, and you may see large refrigeration air conditioning companies doing businesses in our country. As I told you, for doing a business, the first thing you require is knowledge about the product, for which you may have to work in a reputed company for 2-3 years, understand the basics of the line, understand how to give quotations, understand how do you win the orders, how do you execute the orders, how do you collect the money from the customers, and finally, how you do a successful business. There are various agencies who can help for you, and I am sure a person who is competent, who has a basic entrepreneur skills, this is the line he should try, and I am sure he is going to be a successful businessman, and this line will give him ample opportunities. Thank you very much. I think if any of you have any questions, I think you can put forward. I'll be happy to answer it. Thank you very much.
Very fantastic, sir. Very, very nicely explained. I think you have just brought the gist of our industry at a single place. And you are very much applauded in all our comments of the Rata people. Your viewership is also definitely going good. And there has been many things which what you explained is an eye opener for me, despite being in this industry from last 20 years. The environmental chambers, what you told, what we bring from Germany, more than 60%. I don't know whether I have to shift to Germany or I have to start the production here in order to get those things here. Heat pumps is also one of the favorite subjects which I keep hearing these days, but once again, never thought that 70% comes from China. Whereas the technology, if you see, is something a reverse cycle of air conditioning, but yes, so simple, but yes, still we are so much dependent on China and many other companies, whether it is countries like Taiwan or whether it is what you say Europe, what countries you have told. So I really feel so nice for all our Rata members that you have gathered so many details, worked hard on this, and brought these detail at a single place. So one of my member is asking you a small question, that is there any age to start the business?
Okay.
So that is Mr. Sunil R. He wanted to ask you this question. So can you please? I
Okay.
think you are
So,
the best one to answer this.
thank you, Ajay. I think as you mentioned, it is very
Yeah.
surprising to note still about 60-70% of the items are imported from various countries. As I told you, heat pumps, 70% is coming from China. Compressors are coming from Germany, America. Refrigerants are coming from China. Copper pipes are coming from Vietnam. So you see, there is so much of opportunities in our country to manufacture these kind of items, and it's very surprising. We have so much of engineers, so much of talent in our country, and even for that matter, compressors. The bigger compressors, there is not even one company which is manufacturing a scroll compressor in our country. All compressors are coming from China, are coming from America, are coming from Europe. Everything is coming from outside. There is not even one company manufacturing small compressor in our country. There are hardly any company manufacturing semi-hermetic compressor. So it is very, very rare. Most of them are still getting imported from foreign countries. Now, the question from Sunil, is there any age to start a business? According to me, there is no age to start the business. Any person from 25 years till 80 years has started business. I started business when I was 25 years. I think I became successful. Now, this Colonel Sanders of Kentucky Fried Chicken, he started business when he was 71, or Mr. Suta, or of Happiest Minds. He started his company, the Happiest Mind company, at the age of 71 years, and is super success. So there is absolutely no age for starting a business. You need to know the secrecy of entrepreneur skills. Entrepreneur skill is a secret. You can learn it by being involved with some business people, and if you get the experience from such people, definitely you can start this business. There is no age for starting the business. Any age you can start.
So any day is the right day. There is never a wrong time for a right work, and there is never a wrong do when you are looking to do it. So just go ahead, Mr. Sunila. If you want to do anything, any kind of business, please go ahead and please start your business. Rata support is always there with you, and we are always backing you up for any kind of support what you need from our side. There's some couple of more questions. So if you are, with your permission, I would take that up and let Mr. Sunil plan by that time. And if Mr. Sunil, if you have any other question, just put it in the chat box. I request all my audience that if you are feeling to have any particular kind of session which you feel can be connected with this, or if you feel that can bring a worth to your skills or the talk or Rata can give you, please put it in the chat box. We'll definitely be back with those kind of activity if possible. So the next question, what is there from Mr. Irappa VB? So Mr. Irappa VB is asking, what is the income tax slab for business? Whether we get any concession from government?
Okay, now the income tax slab for a partnership or a proprietorship is 30% plus cess, which comes to about 33% if it is a partnership or a proprietorship or LLP. But if you make it as a private limited or a public limited, then the tax is 25%. And so these are the taxes which are prevalent in our country at present. And to get more information, I think when you start a business, you better need to you go to an income tax consultant. Broadly speaking, it is 33% and 25%.
Very nice, Mr. Krishikant, Mr. Krishna Prasad. I'm really sorry for that. So you always give the very crisp answer, and I think our audience is really happy to hear you on that. So some of them is asking, how do you get updated from all these things? Do you go through some books, or you go through some TV news? But I'm sure Mr. Krishnakant have heard me that he is a part of Emerson group, which is very uh, important thing for him, and he has to be updated every time. But still, we'll ask him, how do you get updated from yourself?
Yeah.
Does
So
data also play any role in that?
yeah, definitely. There are various sources of information. One is Rata. Now in Rata, we keep having meetings regularly, once in 15 days. And I feel in every discussion we have in the meeting, we share so much of information, which actually updates me and keeps me updated on the day's development in the industry. So similarly, I am also an active member of ISHRE. So where I also keep getting information. ISHRE also conducts a lot of programs on a month, almost on a daily basis, I can tell. It is again a powerhouse of information. You need anything, it is available. And if I have any doubt, again, there are so many competent people in ISHRE and Rata. Anytime I just directly telephone such people and ask them, and I get the information across the table actually. Now the third source of information is Emerson Company. They have 28 factories across the globe. I am free to travel to any of these factories, and they also arrange me to travel any of these factories. They arrange training programs. They arrange exhibitions in different countries. They take me to conferences in different countries. Actually, that also has been helping me a lot. I understood how business is done in Thailand, how business is done in Vietnam, how business is done in America. Emerson has also allowed me to go to wholesalers in America, wholesalers, how they do business in Greece. So they've given so many opportunities for me to update myself about the present business trends in the world, and that actually is updating me, and I am sharing it with my customers and my colleagues. That's how I get the information. Thank
Very
you.
nice, sir. Definitely, we cannot ask you, but there's nothing wrong in asking. Why don't you take us all the RATA member to the tour of your factories of Thailand and other people?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't feel that I'm asking too much. You can take us a virtual tour. So you can ask, if possible, let's go with a virtual tour along with you. It's a virtual world.
Okay. I
So
think Ajay.
I just keep this on behalf of my RATA fellows. So those who are
Okay.
ready, if you fix a time, we can just make a virtual tour to Emerson factory.
Yeah.
So
So thank you very
very
much for
nice.
the question. Thank you very much for that question. I happened to be to the Emerson Thailand plant recently. That factory actually, there were no people working there. Hardly countable number of people, maybe about 8 to 10 people were there. All others were robots. So they were running around the factory, lifting the compressor, shifting the compressor, testing the compressor. It was very amazing to see it. They were all 3 feet tall people. They had two rails and they were moving on the rails. Everything was prefixed. They know when to start, when to lift the compressor, where to put the compressor. It looked very magical actually when I looked it. It was a good experience for me. I think yeah, I will definitely ask with Emerson whether they
Please,
will
sir,
permit
please, we would love to
our
go with a
partner team
virtual
to
tour.
do that. And I think if
Something
they
what
allow us to go, it's an opportunity worth seeing. It's a beautiful, amazing factory. Everything running robots, 3 feet tall robots. Entire factory run by robots. Testing, manufacturing, transporting to lorries, transporting to vehicles, everything actually. Such an amazing feeling. If they allow us, definitely we should go. I will try and inform you later on. Thank
Sure,
you,
sir.
Ajay.
Sure, sir. Very nice.
Yes.
So that was not part of the question from the members. That was my
Yeah,
request on behalf of my data fellows and members. So thank you for
definitely.
us for clearing that doubt. And Mr. Sunil also thank you. And Sunil also is asking that it's a very good information, Mr. Krishna Prasad. If have to start dealing with the heat pumps business, I want to connect. So can you please help me? So
Yeah.
for sure, Mr. Simon Lobo, I am giving an assurance on his behalf that he is always a very helping nature guy. He would rush to help you. So Prasadji, your wish on this.
Yeah. Thank you, Simon Lobo. He's a good friend of mine from Mangalore. He's in Mangalore, Simon Lobo. I think we started business almost at the same time. And
Oh, very
now,
nice.
Simon, I'm happy to get this question from you. Now, coming to heat pump, the first thing I would like to tell is I have a demo unit of heat pump in my company. In the terrace of my building, there is a demo unit. I can start that heat pump and show you how the heat pump works. And I can explain you each and every part of the heat pump and also tell you where it is available and how you can manufacture heat pump. And definitely, it's going to be a product of the future. If you are going to manufacture heat pumps, definitely you should think about it. If not, I think you're a trader. You can start dealing with the spare parts of the heat pumps. And to tell you the fact, lot of items for the heat pumps, especially the electronic items, they're all coming from China on kg. You can see a lot of PCBs and electronic controls. They all come on kgs. They charge, I think, 10,000 rupees per kg of that PCBs and electronic equipments. It is amazing, actually, but it is going to be a future big business. All swimming pools today are controlled by heat pumps. Every hotel, every hospital, every industry, lodging, hostels, they're all going for heat pumps. And future, you may see hundreds and hundreds of manufacturers of heat pump, and it will have a lot of opportunities in this line. Yes, Mr.
Fantastic,
Sam.
Prasad.
Please come to
Fantastic.
Bangalore. I will show you the heat pump.
Very nice, Mr. Sunil, Mr. Simon Lobo. Whenever you are in Bangalore, please tell me. I'll also come along with you to Prasadji. So nice of him to give the detail of his business. There are very less people who gives the in-depth detail of their own business. I thank you, Mr. Krishna Prasad. Sometime I'm also in this industry because of my earlier partner, Mr. Raju Bhai, who also gave me the depth of this business. You will not find many people who can teach you and give you the gist of their line. So always remember such kind person, Mr. Krishna Prasad. Very nice of you for doing that. There's one more question with Mr. Ravi Kiran, Mr. Nadkarni, if I'm not wrong. What is the success rate in business? quite a different question from the line from the opportunity, but yes, I think we can take another 1 minute for that as well.
Yeah. Okay, now this success rate in business, it is a very debatable question. So what I'm told is, if there are 10,000 people who start business, at the end of third year, only 1,000 people remain in business. So 9,000 people have closed and run away from business. And then when you go to the 10th year, out of that 1,000 people, maybe there are about 100 to 150 people who are extremely successful, and they have become a star in their line of activity. So what I mean to tell is, from 10,000 you come down to 1,000 in 3 years, and from 1,000 you come down to 150 or 200 at the end of 10th year. So these are the success rate of business. It basically goes by the quality of the entrepreneur. What I have seen in the last 35 years is, I have seen thousands of people who have started business. I always find that people who have certain amount of discipline in life, especially financial discipline, especially discipline in what they speak and what they do. So people who try to maintain discipline in life, such people have a higher rate of success. And then there is a group of people. See, whenever you start business, money starts moving in your hand. You have so many temptations. See, you start doing business, at the end of the 1 year, your bank may have 2 lakh rupees. You may have a temptation to go and purchase a car. But you may also have to pay your supplier 2 lakh rupees. So you may stop paying the money to your supplier, but go and purchase a car, and you want to show it in the market that you have already become successful. But internally, a cycle of problem starts, a cycle of payment problem starts, and then you start getting into problem. As you go into the second year, third year, you don't learn from that. You get into more and more financial problems. You start investing on land. You start investing on houses without
Yeah,
having
as
proper
you say,
planning.
it can be many of his thought process what he want to bring in, and he don't see that he has to repay, and then he put all the
Yeah,
money into his requirements. So that's
yeah,
a very catchy part what Krishna sir is telling. So I think
yeah,
we all should know that yes, it is not just to start the business, but to maintain the business, you need to see your debtors and creditors both on a very weighed measurement. And Mr. Krishna Prasad is definitely an expert in that, which we can see from 1986.
yeah. So along with that, the knowledge of the product. Whatever product you are handling, I feel you should have 100% knowledge about that product. You should be a master and a consultant for your customers. Then you will definitely get orders in the market. Thank you.
So, what is the capital you would like to say that one should start with the business? Whether if you give some couple of example that if you want to do an environmental business, please come with 500 crore or 5 crore or 5 rupees, whatever. Or if you
Yes.
want to do something like a business for something like heat pump, what is the kind of investment one should be looking for? This is a question from one of my friend Nagesh.
No.
So, could you just throw some light?
Yeah, I would like to explain this in two steps actually. What I would first feel is, a person should always start with a small capital. For example, in my case, I started with 7,000 rupees, and out of that 7,000, I paid 5,000 as dealership deposit to Emerson, and I had 2,000 rupees in my hand. But in that first 1 year, I learned what business is. I knew the importance of giving credit, collecting money. It is a very important lesson. To whom you should give credit, how you should give credit, how much you should give, how you can analyze and evaluate your customers. So that learning is very important actually. And what I feel is, if you get that basic learning, the importance of money, the importance of the total business statistics, then maybe in the second year you can start investing some amount of money. Now, for
True.
example, if you told about heat pump, I think if a person want to start a business of heat pump, then I feel a capital of about 15 lakhs is more than enough to start that business.
Oh,
15 lakhs,
fantastic.
yeah, 15 lakhs is more than enough. You should be able to learn the line and grow to big business within 4 or 5 years.
So what Krishna Prasad sir said, just I will give you a gist of it. Where what I have understood, where he said he has a salary, he had a salary of 1,000 rupees, and 9,000 is what he started. So please plan for your 9 month salary, or maybe a little bit here and there. So that is what he is looking to say, and where you have to start with. So that's very nice to hear from you as well. So I will also say that now, as you know, what is the importance he has given, the focus on the company, the focus on his business, as our Mr. Shrikant has rightly said, and the way he has taken his company and the way he is contributing to after going to a level where he wants to start his business, and then now he's supporting data and all you people who are as the data member. So we thank you very much from Krishna Prasad ji for taking all the questions. I think this is the end of the questions, and I would request one and all of you, if you are not a Rata member, please be one today. Call on 7738745000 and ask if you have any doubt. I would repeat 7738745000. So that is, madam, that is our headquarter in Mumbai. And if you want to call in the local, Mr. Ramesh Kumar Dudhedia, who is our membership chair, he can also help you out or reach anybody of us where we can also be a Rata member. It's not that why we should become, you can just check it out, and his number is 93419820023. So I'll repeat, 93419820023, and you have a link on the chat box about Rata India. Do visit our website and you will come to know there are many fantastic things which are showcased in our website. And you can have a link tree which has been already shared by our Mumbai team. That's Linktree /Rata India. So please like all the pages so you will be keep getting updated from everything what Rata does. I believe now I should leave this platform rather than disturbing you more on your very valuable time. And I would invite our president elect, Mr. Mulender Bengani, who is also here to support you as well. And he is there as the president elect of Rata Bangalore chapter, own his own company by name Shravan Refair, and very famous personality. Mulender ji, over to you.
Thank you, friends. And thank you, Ajay. Good afternoon, everyone. I,
Good afternoon.
Mulendra Bigani, Managing Director of Shravan Refair Private Limited, would like to thank everyone for attending this event organized from Rata. As Vice President of chapter, it brings me immense joy to see you all participate today. A small brief about Rata. Rata was established in the year 1949. So close to 72 years, with the aim of bringing together people from the entire industry and giving them a central forum to help them accomplish their common goal of making progress and achieving success. I would like to express my gratitude to Mr. Krishna Prasad, who is program chair in Rata Bangalore, for enlightening us with the knowledge and experience and the insight what he has touched upon. It looks very simple, but it was unnoticed for so many people. I'm sure in this platform there are so many dealers who have joined and they would not heard about heat pump. So I second that. Heat pump is near, like I should say, next business opportunity in HVAC heat pump. So I'm certain it will be useful for us all members to incorporate his points and ideas in our respective line of work. And for those who have not signed up as member, I would urge you to go ahead and become members, as we have more such events coming up from which you will certainly have key takeaways. Uh, we have lined up two more programs, one on 24th of this month on how to burst your stress, and next on 7th of September about statutory requirements for company formation. In this last 1 year, we have conducted 6 events for. In the last 1 year, we have conducted 6 events for the benefit of our circle. As a united team, we can present a strong voice for our concerns with any governing body, as we once have done in August 2020 with Mr. Nitin Gadkari, the Honorable Central Minister, on our national forum. So without taking much of your time, I would like to wrap up this event with a note to encourage you to invite more members. Come forward with your suggestions. Thank you.
Very nice, Mulindaji. I think this solves one of the more problem what people were asking on the chat box. I think Mr. Sunil and Mr. Ravi, other people, that what is the success rate of business now. I would urge all of them to keep their bag ready and get started with the business very soon. And we will tell you the benefits of the type of entity what you can open, what you should open, whether a private limited, LLP, a trading company, or the type of company what you would love to do that. So very nice to hear from you, Mr. Mulindarji. Thank you for addressing us. And I thank you, all of you, for joining this. So we can wrap up the meeting from this. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna Prasadji, and thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.